Good afternoon and welcome. Thanks for staying tuned. This is the newspaper analysis for today, Monday, the 16th day of September 2024. I am Ugbebo Ikikwa, and in the studios with me, I have Dr. Emmanuel Ehariba. You're welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much. Very brilliant Monday afternoon.
Absolutely.
And I guess the weather is getting better by the minute.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, before we continue with the newspaper analysis, we have some celebrity birthdays to look at.
Well, September the 16th, we remember people like B.B. King. For those of you who are jazz buffs, he's one man you always love to remember, born in Nnpcl, Mississippi, in the United States. American blues guitarist, mainly, not just jazz, but he was also into blues and was also a record producer. He died on the 14th of May 2015 at the age of 89. We remember him very well today, B.B. King. Now, the second on our list is Lee Kuan Yew, a great man who turned Singapore around. We always love to remember him. Born on September 16, this day, in 1923, was the first Prime Minister of Singapore, 1959 to 1990, quite a long time there, but the founding father of modern Singapore, a highly developed country. He died on March 23rd, 2015 at the age of 91. Excuse me. We always look forward. I mean, the whole world really, particularly the developing countries, they look forward to being like Lee Kuan Yew, Singapore, a great country and a great founder. From there, we move on to music again, and we are talking about the great Alau, jazz buffs. You remember him. He's still alive, an American acoustic guitarist and jazz musician, born this day in 1953 in Detroit, Michigan, back in the U.S. Won Grammy Award and also 13 nominations. One of my favorite jazz musicians, and that's the great and inimitable Alau. And the last one for birthdays will be King Henry V of England, one of the greatest kings that have come out of Britain from 1413 until his death in 1422 at the age of 35. He went in very early actually, but he turned out to be one of the greatest kings for England. But the last one there is not a birthday actually, but yes, you might say a birthday for a corporate organization. September 16, 1908, in Flint, back in the United States, one of the world's largest car manufacturers, and that is talking about General Motors. One of the largest, apparently the largest in the United States. They make very great vehicles, Cadillac, Chevrolet, and Pontiac. So it was founded in 1908. That's over 100 years ago. That's amazing. That's really amazing for General Motors. So that's our bit for this end. Back to you, Kekwa.
And on the newspaper analysis this afternoon, we'll be starting off with the leadership newspaper, where we have on the front page, Nnpcl, Dagote disagree over price of petrol. We bought from Dagote at 898 naira per litre, says Nnpcl official. No, your statement is misleading and mischievous, says Dagote. And 70 trucks load PMS from Dagote refinery.
Yeah, who are we to believe? Is it an Nnpcl or Dagote? I mean, this is quite ridiculous for any country. It's quite ridiculous because, I don't know, in the middle we have PMS.
Yes.
And on the other side, or the flip side, we have Nigerians. Poor, innocent Nigerians. They have been caught in the web of these controversies. And I don't think it is necessary. It's not necessary at all. My hunch tells me that there may not be any significant impacts, even with Dagote coming in. Right now, we are buying at 1,200. If you add all kinds of variables, we might still be getting to about 1,100, even from Dagote. Because the guy is telling you that, look, he's a businessman.
Yes.
And he got everything through in dollars. By selling in naira, he has to up his game. All right, you can't blame him for that. But my worry remains the same. Why must we continue to import fuel?
Okay.
Why can't we encourage many more Dangotes? For instance, I mean, the local refineries to add to the supply chain that we have. That to bring down the price of oil very considerably. I mean, that's my take. And I think that the earlier we do that, the better for Nnpcl and for the country.
Yes.
Because if Dagote now sells to Nnpcl, I don't know how they are going to wriggle out of their problem, how they are going to sort things out. If eventually we add all these variables that we are talking about, yes, we might be hitting over 1,000. So what is the benefit of having a private refinery in Nigeria?
Exactly.
Right.
Although we will see the situation where 70 trucks load PMS from the refinery.
But how much? At how much?
Exactly.
I don't know why they are even keeping the price to their chest. I don't know. It's a very simple thing. Why don't you let Nigerians know that this is the price? Official price, as it were. And Dagote, remember, he told us about a week or so ago that it is the federal government that will fix the price of. That alone is even strange because he's a businessman. I don't know how federal government can fix the price emanating from the products emanating from a private enterprise.
And the Nnpcl is saying that they will be the sole buyers.
That's another oddity, really. It's a great oddity. It's very absurd. The marketers are even spoiling up for a fight. Exactly. They say they want to buy directly from Dagote. Okay, if they buy from Nnpcl as the sole buyer, it means that something will be added.
Definitely.
Yes, in favor of Nnpcl.
Yes.
To the disadvantage of the independent marketers. Don't also forget that independent marketers are more in number. They go to the rural areas where there's little or no control. They go to the rural areas. Nnpcl doesn't go there. The major marketers don't go there. It is the independent marketers that go to the rural areas. And I think that, yes, if they're allowed to buy directly from Dagote, that would be better for everybody.
All right. Well, let's move ahead now to this day newspaper. Still on the issue of PMS. Federal government lifting of petrol at Dagote refinery marks return of industrialization. Nnpcl sets Lagos price at 950 naira per litre, Borno's price at 1,019 naira for Dagote fuel. Another rider to that effect, National Oil Company assures fuel queues to disappear in a few days and declares naira for crude arrangement to ease FX volatility. Fuel scarcity in Nigeria over, Otedola says.
Is that not what I've just been talking about? The disparity. I mean, Lagos, well, you can understand because Lagos, Dagote is there in Lagos. Right. In Borno, how much is it?
1,019 naira.
Good. And you can also understand because they have to take these things by road anyway. But that was the reason why Kaduna refinery was even put in place. So you can pump right from whatever place to Kaduna.
Yes.
So you don't have to get trucks moving from Lagos to Kaduna. Imagine the distance. We're talking about 1,000 kilometers, probably more. The wear and tear on the vehicles and the roads are so bad. Pretty bad. Yes. So if they now add the cost of inconveniences and all that, we might be hitting about 1,500 up north, which is not it's not a joke at all. It's not. In the Lagos area, you can understand. Okay. Lagos, Ogun, and a few other states. But what of the others? Right. So we still have this basic.
We still have the basic.
Yes.
problem.
And think of this: they are saying that fuel scarcity will disappear. At what cost?
Okay.
At what cost? Nigerians must ask the question. At what cost? If fuel is available at 2,000, that doesn't add value to their lives. It doesn't. It doesn't at all, by any stretch of the imagination. It doesn't.
Well, we'll be moving away from fuel issues down to Edo State on Saturday, the 21st. In just 5 days' time, we will be having a gubernatorial election coming up on that day. And, well, there are issues that have actually come up. We'll go down to the Nigerian Tribune, where we'll have on the front page, Edo, PDP, APC, bicker over alleged planned removal of Obaseki's security. Emeka Anyoku, that's the former Commonwealth Secretary General, says the international community is watching INEC orders.
Honestly, this is going to be, I said it before, it's like, I'm not a prophet, but all the things that I've said on this program, people are repeating them. Okay, I've said it time and time again, that this is an election in a million. The whole world will be watching, the whole world will be watching this election. Because it's an off-cycle election, don't forget. And it stands alone. It's not as if we have about 2 or 3 within the same perimeter. So that makes it more important. But let me talk, I'll come back to that. Let me talk about the first issue of security.
Yes.
The governor is the chief security officer of the state. So if it's true that they removed his security details, it means that you have left him to vulnerability. He's going to be vulnerable, and that's not good for any chief executive, not just Edo State, it could happen anywhere. But I expect that the federal government will deny that. Say, no, we have not done that, because that will assuage the feelings of people who are doubting the sincerity of the federal authorities. Let them deny it. The police, of course, police high command can deny that, no, we haven't done that. The governor himself can come back to say, yes, the security details, nothing has happened to them. That is the thing that should be happening at the moment. But it's a dangerous thing, because we are counting days now. Very soon we'll be counting hours.
Yes.
All right? Nothing should disrupt this election. It's
or hit off the quality, as
yes, nothing should disrupt it. I said before that INEC has given us all the assurances. First of all, the election is not going to be postponed. That's one. Number two, they are going to upload into the beavers. Yes. Right, that's number two. In other words, we expect that there should be no glitches. Number three, the election is, at least by the authority of INEC, is going to be credible. We are looking forward to that. And then the authorities of the police have to ensure that there are no violent offenses like arson, ballot box snatching, and all sort of things. So their house must be put in order. So we are looking forward. I personally am looking forward to a good election that day. Now, coming back to the other issue, Ayaku is not a man who speaks glibly. Yeah, he's well respected all over the world. He has his integrity intact. So when he speaks with authority. And he has said that the whole world, and I can tell you that yes, that's true, the whole world is looking at INEC, particularly because INEC was enmeshed in a lot of controversies during the 2023 elections. And I'm sure they won't want to repeat all of that. Otherwise, their whole reputation will just go down the drain, and very finally too. So Ayaku is right. It's an eminent personality, and Nigeria is lucky to have produced that kind of personage. We are looking forward to a very smooth election. Because Edo State, as I keep saying, is the heartbeat of this country. Anything that happens, positively or otherwise, has a way of reverberating across the country. Most things that, look at the NSAS riot. It was different in Edo State, apart from Lagos. It was different. People here just went haywire. Okay. Now, look at the issue of the minimum wage. Edo State was the first to pay 70,000, and the federal government followed. So things happen here, not by accident, but by the fact that it's a strategically located state. The state has produced a lot of eminent personalities across board. And that's the reason why I think that this election is important. We must not bring Edo State into odium. I've said that many, many times. Edo State must not be a theater of war. Okay? It must not be. Election is not war. It's not. I really don't understand why people are saying that this election must be seen as one whose type we've never seen before, really. And that is not right. We have seen elections in this country, and they should not be different.
Well, on that
in
note,
this state, rather.
Okay.
And this must not be different.
On that note, how would you see the deployment of over 25,000 police personnel to the state for the elections?
Meaning that there are still misgivings. Obvious misgivings. Misgivings, the synonym for that would be doubts.
Yes.
Okay? There are doubts as to whether this election will go the way of propriety. People have boasted, and that amazes me really, that, oh no, we'll depend on the federal might. And what has federal might got to do with a simple election? It's a simple procedure. Are you now saying that you are going to shortchange the process so that you can depend on the federal might. It doesn't just make sense at all. It is what you want to change that you think of that. Otherwise, as I've said on this program many times, election should be a thing of joy. You go out to vote, you come back home. If you want to stay, you stay. You're at the polling center. If your candidate wins, you rejoice and you go back home, awaiting the final result. And at the end of the day, if things go well, as I propose, as I think, the winner should shake hands with the losers, or the loser should shake hands with the winner. There's going to be just one winner. There will be many losers, but just one winner of the lot. And there should be a handshake across the political divide. That's the beauty of democracy. But we are reducing everything to war and bloodshed. It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up at all. First of all, I think it even scares the voters, and I don't think that there's any reason why voters should be scared. You go out and exercise your franchise. It's part of your suffrage. So my prayer is that things should be done appropriately, decently, and to the letter.
Okay.
We must follow the rule of law as dictated by the electoral law. These things are all there. Okay, INEC must play its role creditably, so that at the end we have every reason to applaud that organization. Okay,
all right.
The political actors must also play their roles creditably, and then, most importantly, the supporters of the various political parties. These are the people who usually trump up hellfire. Yes, because they are so emotive about it. Oh no, our candidate must win, this and all of that. So I just pray, and the religious leaders too, this is not the time for frivolities. They should pray that we don't experience that kind of thing, because it could reverberate across the country, and that's not too good for the country.
All right. Well, away from politics, we'll now go down. If you recall, over the weekend, sometime last week, there was this disaster in Maiduguri. We'll go down to the front page of the Daily Trust and look at Maiduguri flood. 400 million naira budgeted for Alau Dam in 4 years. Riders to that effect. Dam neglected for years. This is coming from the governor, Zulum. Its defects discovered 9 years ago. This is according to a special report looking into the flooding issue. And fear of disease grows as Borno decries harmful practices. And then a final rider to that effect: survivors wash, cook with contaminated water. The Maiduguri flood.
Disaster.
Yes. Man-made disaster.
Yes. Very, very big disaster. Look at the number of lives we have lost for our own fault. Negligence.
Yes.
Look, I can't remember when we said it here. I said it very plainly that most of the structures we have, they have a lifespan. And before this lifespan expires, you put them right. The same thing with bridges, dams, and some other good structures. That's why buildings are falling all over the place. Even government buildings, they are falling off. All right, even aircraft falling off from the sky. It is neglect, and that is man-made. Please, Jane, show that caption again. Show the newspaper again. You can see 400 million budgeted for Alau Dam in 4 years. In other words, on the average of 100 million a year. And nothing has happened except a disaster.
And look at 9 years. It's
9
defects
years.
discovered 9 years ago. Yes.
9 years. Where are the engineers? Where are the people who are supposed to take a critical look at this facility every year? They waited for 9 years. They knew it, by the way. That's what the newspaper reported said. They knew it, but they neglected it. And now it has created a disaster. People are dying. Epidemic is staring us in the face.
Exactly.
Yes. Serious epidemic, which has the propensity of spilling over to a few other states close to Borno. Right? So we take things for granted in this country. Even roads have a lifespan. I have said it here before. We wait until roads go bad almost irretrievably before we now start to do some palliatives. That word again, palliative. We are so used to it. We carry out some palliative measures, which just doesn't make sense. If you tie a road today, be expecting the fact that it must go bad in the next 4 or 5 years. It has a lifespan. It's not eternal. So after a couple of years, you begin to look at it again. That's what happens elsewhere. Look, in Germany and a few other countries in Europe, when a road is constructed, even before the lifespan expires, you see machinery on the road in the night while people are sleeping.
Yes.
They put tar and everything to reinvigorate the road, so that when people wake up in the morning, it's a brand new road that they see. What we call a wake and see here.
Yeah.
You know, they're in our own local balance. Yes, but look at the dam. A dam is a major structure. Once it collapses, the water. Have you ever seen a dam? Look, a dam, you bridge it.
Yes.
So you collect water, you open it on the other end, it flows in. The speed is very frightening. If you go to Ikpoba Dam, it is frightening. The volume of water that it collects and the volume of water that it releases. Yes. And once that system collapses, you can imagine all that water rushing in. It destroys everything on its track. It's like a what do you call it now? A hurricane or tornado. It destroys everything along its path. Human lives are lost, properties are lost, farms are destroyed completely, washed away. You remember, I can't remember the year now, when that dam in Cameroon.
Yes.
Happened. It came to Abuja.
Exactly.
Yes, through the River Niger, come to Benue.
Yes.
Abuja Road was closed for almost 2 weeks because the water that was collected was now let loose, and it just emptied into Nigeria. So that is the danger. And we pay lip service. Where is the Minister of Water Resources?
Okay.
Yes. He must, in a better climate, he should resign for this kind of disaster brought about by neglect and negligence. Nigerian lives are lost through banditry. Now it is floods we are talking about. How many times, for how long are we going to be losing Nigerian lives? Precious lives. We're losing them. Losing to banditry, losing to kidnappers, losing to dam, all sorts. It's a terrible situation.
It's a terrible situation. Well, we're not going to leave with news as regards a terrible situation. Dr. Igariba, as usual, has some things to tell us before we end the program.
As usual, you always preempt me, but I always say that 21st is here. Yes, it's a defining moment for Edo State. The people in political combat, they are getting ready, they are getting set. Very soon, all campaigns will stop. All right? And that means that between now and Thursday, they have to gear up action on their campaigns. But I must say this, we are looking forward to a hit-free election. We are praying that the good Lord will grant us the grace to do it right and to get it right. Because Edo State is the cynosure of all eyes at the moment. If we get it wrong, what will be the benefit of INEC? I mean, the whole world will say INEC again. Okay? That's what they will say. INEC, you have done it again. And that's not a plus. Let the whole world say, INEC, we applaud you. That should be the language. Not INEC again. No, that shouldn't be the language. The language now should change. The template should change. Let INEC be the game changer. Because everything is in their hands. As I said, I foresee a situation, or I like a situation in which the losers will not even go to court. They will have seen a very, very fair and credible election. So there will be no need to drag themselves to court. The court will have less job to do. Okay? So we're looking forward to that election, and I'm sure that we'll get it right.
All right. Well, that's on the positive side. Well, Saturday, just a few days away. As we have always promised, we'll live up. We'll keep our promise to you. Being the game changer, we'll keep you fully updated on Saturday. So for today, don't go away, as we still have quite a lot of programs lined up for your viewing delight. Once again, thanks for watching. Please stay tuned, and don't forget, for those of you who do not know how to reach us yet on YouTube, simply go to YouTube, type in Providence Television International. And for those of you who know how to reach us for our programs, all you just need to do is to go to the share button, and once you click on that share button, you'll find copy. As you copy, paste it on your links and share, so that also, apart from sharing, you should also subscribe, so that you get our updates once they come up. On this note, I want to say once again, thanks for watching. Please stay tuned.